Hey guys, what is going on? Vitaly Dubin is here, founder of Bitcoin's Walls Club, and welcome to another episode of Today in Crypto Show, where I discuss the current state of the cryptocurrency market and do some Bitcoin technical analysis so you can get a picture of what you can do next. You know, what is best to hold on to Bitcoin, to sell Bitcoin, and how you can plan your next moves ahead. So, guys, we are having some interesting times right now. Looking at the cryptocurrency market, we are at $177 billion right now. Bitcoin is trading above $5,000 for quite some time right now, and the bullish trend is not, getting a base, so to speak, is not lessening in a way. We are still seeing right now in the last 24 hours 1.54% to the upside for Bitcoin. And the question remains, what we are seeing right now for Bitcoin, where it's moving next, because a move is coming and a big move is coming, and the question is whether it's going to be a move to the upside or to the downside. And different experts kind of see it differently. Okay, there is once again a controversy and different stands of views, and different traders see different things in the charts of where Bitcoin is going. Some people, some traders are seeing bullish patterns that we are going upwards. Some are seeing bearish patterns that it's going downward. So let's discuss that. First of all, if you're looking at the bigger picture, this is the 2-week time frame. So very large time frame. You can see one of the indicators that is called MACD. You can see it right there at the bottom section over here. Okay, so this indicator, for the very first time in a very long time, since February 2018, turned green. Okay, which means over the longer term time frame, on a 2-weekly time frame, we are seeing green again for the very first time in the last year and 4 months almost. So this is one good sign that the bull market is going to happen at some point this year, at least start. It's not going probably be a full bull market that we saw in 2017 this year, maybe next year, but it is a start, it is a sign, and it's one of those signs that again the market is turning, and we are probably not going to see the lowest lows and retest the lowest lows of this year, which was about $3,100 this year. Okay, so that's one thing that I wanted to discuss. Another thing, what we are seeing right now, if we're going to take a closer look at the patterns. Okay, so some traders, what they're seeing on the charts is a bull flag after this huge candle of plus $1,000. Let me just close that for a second. The D1, make some space in the charts. Okay, this big candle of plus $1,000, and we are forming this bull flag, and they are seeing this as ascending triangle like this that is going to break on the upwards. So that's one view. Okay, another view is a descending triangle. Let's make it a different color, make it red. An ascending triangle is a pattern on the upside, and a descending triangle is a pattern on the downside. Okay, so different traders that are seeing different patterns in this chart. Now, what is going to be more dominant? That's the question. And another pattern that we are seeing right now on the charts is what is called head and shoulders pattern. And a head and shoulders pattern, for going to draw it out from here. Where is head and shoulders? There you go. Okay, and this is the left shoulder, this is the middle, and the right shoulder, right? Something like that. This is a bearish pattern. The head and shoulders, this is a bearish pattern. So if we are going to break on the downward, somewhere along, the $5,000. If this level is not going to hold, we might see a drop to 4,600 in this area, 4,800, 4,600, 4,500, somewhere along those lines. So another thing you want to consider right now is the RSI, which measures how the currency is in overbought or in oversold condition. And right now the RSI, what RSI tells us is we are somewhere in the overbought territory. Okay, this is on a 4-hour chart. We're looking at the daily. We are close to the 70 on the daily as well. So close to the overbought positions. Okay, and another thing that you want to also take a notice at is this indicator that is called the NVT, that measures the transactions. And essentially you can see that this indicator, when it's at the peak levels, it coincides with the further drops in the market. So the last drop that was in mid-November, the NVT was at a high, very high rate, and then it dropped, right? And now we are getting back to the NVT at the highest rate, which means possibly it can drop again from here. And also you can see in mid-December when Bitcoin peaked at $20,000 over here, the NVT, this indicator also was at the peak level, the same peak level that we are seeing right now. So this is a bearish signal, at least over the shorter term. Okay, so there are two time frames that you want to take a look at this, and depending on how you trade and what you trade and what your objective and goal is, right? It's obviously not financial advice, and I'm not telling you what to do with your trades and your Bitcoin. I'm just discussing what I'm seeing in the markets and what potentially can happen with Bitcoin, the way that I see it and other expert traders are seeing it. Okay, so what is going on right now is two different time frames. So there is, on a shorter term time frame, you might see a retrace based on all these indicators, right? The NVT and the RSI that is on an overbought condition, and the head and shoulder, a pattern that is descending triangle pattern and descending triangle pattern. So all of this might lead to a conclusion that Bitcoin, at least over the shorter term, might retrace a little bit to this area, okay, somewhere to this area, and then going to go up again. On a macro trend, as you've seen on the 2-week trend, we are bullish, right? We are bullish, and as well as the fundamentals, from the standpoint of how many users are using the Bitcoin network and the amount of adoption that is happening in this space, we are definitely bullish. One analyst is saying that Bitcoin bottom and it will rally to $8,000. Okay, but we are seeing also other traders saying it can go down to $3,000 if 2014-15 trend repeats itself. But another bullish confirmation that we are seeing over the longer term horizon is that we did move upwards of the 200 moving average. This is a 200 moving average, this line. You can see it right here. This line, a purple, not purple, what's this color? Turquoise line. Okay, this is a 200 moving average, and we did bounce up perfectly out of this 200 moving average line and moving upwards from here. So they say, okay, this is the confirmation that the bottom was in, and we are not going to see prices below $3,100 for Bitcoin. Okay, so until it broke the $6,000, this level, guys, it was a very, very strong level, $6,000 that we did bounce off of it multiple times in 2018 until we actually able to cross that line. Okay, cross that line of $5,000, I mean $6,000, and stay above this line, there is no there is too early to say that we are entering into a bull territory just yet. Okay, just yet. We're starting to see some signs. Okay, and there will be some volatility in this range. I expect it's not going to stay like this. It's going to move up and down. Okay, but until we cross that line of $6,000, we cannot say with confidence that we are in a bullish territory, that it is confirmed. But what's interesting that 4 years in a row, April had a great month for Bitcoin. In the last 4 years, it was great April. So it is unlikely. It is unlikely that we'll go below the $4,000, $4,100. That will stay well above that this month. So let's see how this month is going to close. Another crypto market maven, as they call it, declares that crypto winter is over and Bitcoin could reach $10,000 this year. One financial guru is saying about Bitcoin. So we can see that the sentiment is positive overall. Is positive. And John McAfee recently reconfirmed that he is standing for the $1 million bet. That he's saying that it's mathematically impossible for Bitcoin to be less than $1 million by the end of 2020. Now, I think that it is too optimistic. we have like a year and a half left until the end of 2020, and from 5,000 to $1 million, there is a huge difference. But that's what McAfee is saying. I don't know what kind of math he's having. Definitely exponential type of math. But to be more conservative in the next couple of years, definitely there is a lot of evidence that Bitcoin will definitely go higher, and it will go higher than the last bull run that ended with mid-December on $20,000. So that's good, guys. It's patience is required in this space if you're holding on to Bitcoin and crypto. And as you know, Bitcoin will pull the market with it. As Bitcoin will go up in value, it will pull the other cryptocurrencies with it. Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, all the other cryptocurrencies are going to rise with it, as there is a high correlation between Bitcoin and other projects. Okay, so this is very exciting because it's 2020 is right around the corner. The next 12 months can be very, very big for Bitcoin and for crypto, especially with the Bitcoin halving that is coming in mid 2020. Just a year from now, we're going to see Bitcoin rewards halved, okay, which always corresponds with an increase in the value of Bitcoin. All right, so exciting times ahead. I think the worst times are over for us in the Bitcoin space. So I'm very, very excited. And today at 4 p.m. Eastern time, as usual, we're going to have our Crypto Trading Millionaires trading mentoring class, and you'll get to see more in depth. We'll go for an hour over the charts, over technical analysis, and discuss the state of the market, as well as what we are doing in our Bitcoin's Wealth Club hedge fund, and update you about the trades. We recently acquired a large amount of coins that I believe will go up substantially in value in the next 12 months, and it is all strategically, it can be a very, very, very good year for us in the hedge fund. So very excited about that, and looking forward to see you guys, for those of you who are part of our Crypto Trading Millionaire coaching class today at 4 p.m. And this is it that I wanted to discuss with you today about Bitcoin. I personally, for now, converted my Bitcoin into USDT, into tether, okay, which is everybody can do that, because on the short term you might see some retracement from this point on, okay. But overall I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and let's see what the rest of the month is gonna hold. I'll see you guys on the class and in the next live streams.